The 49ers, you've got needs that pop up out of the blue with the Deebo Samuel trade request. They can't leave the 2022 draft without addressing what, Chris?
I don't think there's anything desperate on the 49ers like roster to where you look at it and go, oh man, they're really depleted there. There's three positions that jump out to me. One, safety a little bit, right? There's Jaquiski Tart. He's still out there. And it's an important position for that Seattle scheme. I look at that corner. They've added some guys in free agency, Charvarius Ward, Darquez Dennard. I don't know there. I think the number one thing I'm going to look at, Mike, offensive line. I think that's going to be the one thing. Alex Mack, what's he doing, right? It sounds like he's on the fence about retiring. You got Mike McGlinchey, at the right tackle position. It's fifth year for him. He was a first-round pick. There's got to be some planning for the future there. The other guard position, they've had an issue there kind of filling that void.
Tomlinson's gone.
Right, exactly. They do have a second-round pick from last year out of Notre Dame and Banks that didn't play much last year, so maybe he comes up. But I still, with Shanahan, that team, the way he thinks of offense and everything, O-line's the one that jumps out to me.
They got to be thinking about defensive line, too. I don't think D Ford is ever going to play for them again. That was a guy they made a trade to get a few years back. But receiver obviously is now – they need to figure out before the draft begins what they're doing with Deebo Samuel. Because they don't have a pick until number 61. They could get back a first-round pick and maybe a second-round pick before the bottom of round 2 if they were to move on from Deebo Samuel. But this dilemma apparently wasn't on the radar screen. Somebody pointed out yesterday, Pete Demolitis sent along the tweet, that the 49ers had no one in at the receiver position for any of the visits that are allowed of 30 players to your facility. So if they're scouting, they're not talking to them face-to-face in person, at least not in their own building. And the time for doing that has expired now. So they better do something at the receiver position, either convince Deebo to stay or have a plan for replacing him. That becomes an unexpected need that bubbled up out of nowhere.
Definitely. It definitely is a big need. I think, after him and Ayuk, there's just a lot of like, oh, we think this guy can be good, or it looks like he's in the, going in the right direction there. But there's no difference maker there. And Ayuk, again, as we know, hey, he was a first-round pick and was in the doghouse to start last year a little bit there. So, I'm with you. The receiver thing, especially if they know, okay, Deebo's not going to be here, that becomes priority number one. If that, gets massaged and he stays there, I'll go to the offensive line thing like I said.
We mentioned the absence of picks for the Rams. They don't get on the clock until number 104 in round 3 because their first-round pick gone. That's part of the Matthew Stafford trade. Second-round pick went to Denver for the very short-term rental of Von Miller. So here we go now with the Rams. What do they need in this draft as they try to there's the draft house. They're going to have plenty of time at the draft house, plenty of time to hang out and enjoy it because you're not picking anybody on Thursday night. Go ahead and get drunk again.
Damn.
Les Snead and others
Invite
on
me.
Thursday night. So they can hang out and celebrate the Super Bowl win, but eventually, who do they need to pick, Chris?
Well, as we know, they're not a real deep football team. They're not. I think I hate to do this back-to-back. This one, to me, is fairly obvious here. I do think offensive line has got to be done here. It has to. You lost Whitworth, all right? The Edwards, one of the interior linemen, free agent, or going to be a free agent. Havenstein coming into the last year of his contract at right tackle. They're not real talented and deep at that position anyways. I think that's the one that pops to me, Mike. That and maybe, really it's that. I think that was the number one thing I look at for their football team.
Yeah, it really amazes me when you look at what they gave up to get Von Miller for half the season. And yes, they won a Super Bowl. But is it really worth it to give away a second and a third-round pick, guys you would have under control contractually at reasonable amounts for 4 years? That is a lot to give up. Those are the guys who become the nucleus of your team. But their attitude is, we will go out and acquire veteran players elsewhere who instantly become the nucleus of our team, even if they're only with our team for a short period of time. And obviously, the departure of Von Miller makes edge rusher priority.
It is.
But by the time they get to 104, who's going to be left?
No, I know. There is some depth of the edge guys. There is. But, yeah, you're right. A difference maker that way, I don't know if you're going to find it, And then they got a guy in Terrell Lewis a few years ago who's a phenomenal pass rusher from Alabama who hurt his knee and hasn't quite come about yet. But I think between the O-line and the edge, I think those are the two needs, without a doubt. And, as a whole, the wide receiver group, they could use a little bit, maybe something there. But I think you look at everything else, DBs, defensive line, it's all pretty damn good. They addressed the linebacker issue and situation with Bobby Wagner. So even though it's top heavy, there's not a lot of desperate needs as far as the starters go.
The Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks trying to keep up with the best two teams currently in the NFC West. Let's focus on the Cardinals' draft needs. They have the 23rd overall pick. They are not used to drafting that low, that's for sure. They got to the playoffs this year, even though they flamed out. 8 total picks. They can't exit the 2022 draft without addressing what, Chris?
Well, they got a few things. I mean, a lot of people think like, they want to add another receiver. I don't know if I see that. I mean, they did re-sign A.J. Green. He got DeAndre Hopkins back. They got Rondale Moore coming there. Corner is one where you can certainly look at and go, there could be something there. But they added Jeff Gladney in free agency. I think the one I'm going to look at, I think more than anything, is defensive tackle. That, to me, stopping the run game was not one of the best things for the Arizona Cardinals last year. I just kind of look at where they're sitting in the draft, right, low 20s. I think there could be some good options there. That, to me, they can maybe go, best D tackle, best edge guy available, if possible, there at pick, I think it is 21 in the first round.
Chase Edmonds exited for Miami via free agency. They kept James Conner. He got banged up a few times last year. I would want someone to be in a position to take a quick pass from Kyler Murray. James Conner became a godsend in the passing game last year for the Cardinals. I just don't know. Running back, he's been around 5-6 years now. You're going to get to the point where the tread starts to come off the tire. You need more help, especially with Edmonds gone. So in one of the mid to late rounds, they need to look for somebody who can come maybe give that offense a little goose in the running game and or short passing game.
All right, crazy. Not at all.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy. Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, they have the 9th overall pick by virtue of the Russell Wilson trade. They can't exit the 2022 draft without addressing what, Chris?
I mean, Seattle's got a lot of spots. To me, though, it's boiled down to offense and defensive line. Defensive tackle, at pick 9, I'll throw them out there right off the bat. I mean, again, one of the Georgia kids, either D tackle. I think the kid Wyatt, it's a phenomenal, more of their type of speed and can do everything type of D tackle. I could see them going that way, or offensive tackle. To me, it's one of those two. If the kid from Mississippi State, Cross, is on the board at 9, I could see them going there with maybe the other 2 tackles off the board already. But I think it's one of the two. I think if I'm going to pick one there, I'm going to go with the defensive lineman with that staff. I'm going to go defensive tackle.
I think that they have so many needs that what they need to do is just fall back, get more, amass as many of these tickets as possible and start scratching them off and hoping you can rebuild the team. That's the urgency. If I'm Pete Carroll, I'm not looking for one difference maker. I'm looking for as many guys as I can bring in to compete and develop into guys who will be great. And yes, in 2010, they had 2 first-round picks. They got Russell Okung and Earl Thomas, and that helped lay the foundation for the team they became. But Cam Chancellor was a late-round pick. Richard Sherman was a late-round pick. This is, I think, a time to get as many picks as possible, bring these guys in, and hope that this infusion of youth can kind of recapture the magic from a decade ago. That's what they need to do quickly, or there's going to be major changes in Seattle.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have a lot of difference makers at some positions. That's where the depth in the team, I kind of look at it and go, it's not bad. That's okay. But there's not one D lineman that you look at to go, oh man, that guy can disrupt and make a lot of plays and ruin the game. Dwayne Brown, of course, is the best O-lineman, but he's up there in years too. So
still unsigned
as well, right? Still unsigned. So, again, that's an aspect of their team that's got issues there. In a corner, there's nobody there that makes a huge difference either. I mean, they have a lot. I understand your thought of them trading down. I do, but I could certainly see them going tackle or D-tackle with that pick number 9 in the first round.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.